Hello, everybody. We are here live for Tuesday Talks. Now, Tuesday Talks has been going for a couple of years now. Tuesday Talk is all about getting to know an individual from a industry and finding out what makes them tick. What do they care about? How has their career reflected what they care about? And what motivates them to keep going? That's what we're going to try to find out. Now, today's guest on our Tuesday Talk is Leonor Herrera. Now, Leonor is a money mindset and a business strategist coach. She's helping you build a business you love with a mindset that gets you results. We all know we want that. Let's get Leonor up here, and I see you there. Let me just get you up, Leonor. Hello, Leonor. Thank you very much for coming on to Tuesday Talks.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be sharing today with you.
Now, thank you very much for your time here. I've done a short introduction for you already, but as a true Tuesday Talk style, I pass the mic to you to do justice to that introduction and let us know who you are, what you do, and the biggest question that I will ask is, why do you do what you do, Leonor? And that
Yeah.
will let us know.
Well, you know what? I have a very clear answer for that. For me, I do what I do because I love to empower a woman to just make more money. That's the basic reason. It's something that is really close to my heart, and I found that purpose. I actually love to encourage other women to make more money.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. So what's the journey behind that you found that you want to help other women make money as well? Because you're now a money mindset coach who is giving them the mindset so that they can get that results whilst they getting better with their money, right?
Correct, correct. And what I do specifically is to break down all the needs of the woman that I'm working with, so she can see her potential and just she can get rid of that money blocks that most women have. I mean, everybody has it, but woman, and especially in woman, it's very, very difficult to break with that limiting beliefs that they've been hearing since they are born. And
Mm-hmm.
especially, I come from Mexico. For Latinas, that it's a big deal. We are always listening how nice we should be, how content and happy we should be with what we have. So wanting more is not usually very well seen in our society. And I just want to break down with that. And I started working, I've been working since, I'm a mother of two. So I've been working since mine were little. And I started my first business when, before having my children, then I sold that business. Back then I was living in Boston. I had some other teachers that we all were teaching Spanish in different schools and in different places. So I sold that business. We moved to Atlanta, and I was teaching. My background is in engineering, but I also have a teaching degree. So I was teaching, and then I saw the need to start a business and leave the school because one of my children was having some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to be more at home. And I noticed that, I didn't want to lose that income. I wanted I wanted to be able to be more at home, but not losing the income that I had teaching. And that's how I started my first nanny agency. And now my nanny agencies, we place nannies across the US, and it's a multi six-figure business. And I noticed that a lot of my nannies, a lot of the people that work with me, we have, and including myself, we have all these money blocks. And it's when I started working on that. The first one that had the money blocks was myself. I wasn't even able to close a client because every time I had to tell them, how much my service was worth, I would be like, this is not going to work. They're not going to hire me. It's a lot of
Mm.
money. So I started to work on my mindset, and it's when I started to see the results and booking more clients and being able to basically make money, have some revenue in my business.
Wow, I love that journey. So thank you for sharing this. And what I was also hearing that, whilst you had to obviously be at home close to your child, but you didn't want to lose what you were already getting, so you didn't want to downgrade the
Correct.
what you have, and nobody should do that anyway because of certain situations, right? But and that's the key that I heard there, right? The key was that you decided not to if let the circumstances affect you, because a lot of time what people do is they let the circumstances which are happening around them or affect them, right? So they will like, okay, this is oh, this is happening, I have to lose this so that I can do this, right?
Correct.
And what I heard from you was like, no, I can actually, I want to maintain what I have because you've worked hard for that, so I want to keep that. Why should I lose it? Because I worked hard for it. Yeah, this is a situation. I will deal with that. I will overcome this obstacle, this challenge now. But I want to keep what I've built. Why I built this. I want to keep that. And then that's another mindset that I can see. It was a strong mindset. And then obviously you started a couple of other businesses that you mentioned there. Your nanny business there, which is a huge business now. And that's when you're realizing the money blocks that is coming up, because now it's your business, right? It's a common theme that I've seen few coaches and people who now start their own businesses feel that, why am I cannot ask for this much for my service. A few people call it imposter syndrome, which is maybe partially there, but the main blocker I am 100% sure is the money, because how I see it is we've never seen that amount of money in one go, whatever that is, right? So we never seen that amount of money right in that one go. So let's say even if you were working in a day job, right, and you were earning, I don't know, let's say 45K in a year, but you never seen that 45K, right? Because
Altogether.
yeah,
Correct.
exactly. You never seen it. You've seen little bit of blocks that comes to you every month, but again, that's also deducted after everything. You've still not seen, I don't know, let's say you're getting 3K every month, right? After taxes and everything, you're left with maybe, I don't know, 1,500 or
Correct.
or something, right? You still haven't seen the full potential of your money that you've been working hard for, right? So your mind has never seen that money. So now when you turn around, hang on a minute, I will ask 3K because I get that pay 3K from my company. I can go and ask that 3K from my client for my own business. But your mind is like, hey, 3K is quite a lot of money, Are you
Yeah,
sure? Are you sure? And that's right. Is that correct, right?
it is. But you know what? The money blocks happen either you are an entrepreneur or you're working for someone else. I mainly work with women entrepreneurs because we check everything, and then we see the different options that they have in order to make more money and the opportunities that they already have right there in front of them, but sometimes they don't see them. So we check all that. I work mainly with entrepreneurs, but these money blocks happen everywhere. Sometimes, when you're at work, you don't go for that increment in your salary because you feel like, okay, how can I justify that they are going to pay me X amount more per month or X amount more per year? So then you don't go for that because you start feeling like not enough. I'm not good enough to earn more. I'm not good enough to ask for more. And then you just don't do it. But that goes everywhere. Or sometimes even with your partner, you want to spend, for example, I don't know, your desire had been always having a motorcycle for saying something, but you just don't want to break the news to your partner and you feel like, well, I cannot justify having a motorcycle because then he or she is going to be angry at me that I'm spending that money. And you just don't ask for that. You just don't feel deserving to have that next good thing that you want. And sometimes we even settle for more. It's sometimes I had the other day one client that she wanted a new car and she bought a new car, but now she wasn't using it because she feels like, the new car is too much for her.
Oh no, right. That's quite interesting to hear, right? Because yeah, and you end up getting what you wanted, right? You spend it, and then you're like, oh, it's too much, right? And it's a bit like I'm just thinking of a friend of mine that buys new things but doesn't use it for a very long time. You know,
Yes,
if he buys new clothes and everything, they are still in the wrapper they got it from. You know,
correct. And they're
and I'm
right
like,
there in the closet with the
yes.
tags on and everything there, because even though you have the money to actually go and buy them, you still
Mm,
don't feel deserving of using them, of wearing them, and they're
mm,
just right there waiting for the special occasion. But the special occasion is today because we are living today, so we have the opportunity for a new day. We need to go for it.
100%. I love that. I love that. So, what? How can a person can recognize this? So, or if they are doing certain these things, how can they recognize that they are having these money blocks? Because
Yes.
a lot of people
Well,
just go through life without knowing this, right?
without knowing them, you are never working on them. Well, the news are we all have them. We all have them. Even super rich people have them
Mm,
because there's new level, and you will have them showing up in different ways, but then you have them there. So
mm,
it is not something that you work on it and then you're done and you're good for life. No, it's something that we need to constantly keep working on them, and they come in different ways. So the one of the very important things is there are different tools that you can use in order to recognize your money blocks and then start working on it. One very easy one that I always tell, and most of my clients love it, is journaling. Once you start journaling, you are going to see repetitive patterns that are showing up there. Like sometimes we say, well, even when you're journaling, I went out, but I didn't ask, for the dessert because it was already the amount that I was spending what this.
mm,
Even
mm,
though I had enough money to buy it, I just didn't feel that, you know, I wanted to spend more on that. And
mm,
sometimes it's okay because you sometimes need to save for something else. But sometimes, most of the times, you just don't spend that extra $10, $15 because you don't feel deserving.
mm,
So journaling, it's a really good tool that helps you to recognize that patterns. What is actually happening here that I'm not feeling that I can actually go for the thing that I really want, and I settle with the bare minimum. Uh, Sometimes even with the clothes, just as you mentioned, There are some ladies that even in their, in their drawers, the clothes that they are wearing or undergarments, they're like totally destroyed because they just can't make themselves to spend money on good clothing. And you don't need to even have, you know, 20 of them, but they cannot buy a couple of good ones because they feel it's too much for them. They don't feel deserving. They don't feel, that's okay. And many times they just, depending on the money personality that they have, there are 8 different money personalities basically. And some of them, a lot of women, they're in the nurturer personality, so they give and give and give, and for the children and for the husband and for their mom and for them, but they never buy anything for them because they feel everybody deserves more than themselves. So that's a way that that can show up a lot. But journaling helps you to recognize that patterns. And then, in order to overcome that money blocks, we use a lot of affirmations, but there are a lot of ways as well. There's an emotional freedom technique as well, which is commonly called tapping. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But with tapping, you break the pattern as well. So
is that tapping your body
correct, your
whilst you're doing the
meridians.
affirmation? Yes.
Correct. So that way you can start, opening new neural pathways to connect, your brain in a different way. Basically, you are rewiring your brain in order to create new, more empowering beliefs and get rid of the old ones that are no longer serving you. So many times also, actually most of the time, the limiting beliefs that we have regarding that are things that we've been listening since we're really young. Like, for example, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. Or, hey, you know what, most of the people that is rich, they're really bad person. And when in reality, money doesn't do anything. It just enhances who you are already. So if you're a bad person, you're going to be a bad person with more money. But if you're a good person, you're also going to be a great person with more money. So money doesn't change people. It only enhances who you are. So all that little tools, we use them, and I usually give them steps to start discovering what's going on, what is happening. Because sometimes what happens is when you have a business, when you're an entrepreneur, and it's funny because people do not think about that, but sometimes you have resistance on sending the invoice.
Yes, I have been there.
Yes, you're like, okay, I will send it a little bit, or I will, just send it a little bit, or do this, and the invoice is right there sitting. You don't send it. It's unbelievable. And then you send it and you get paid, right? But the money's already waiting. You just have to actually send the invoice. And little things like that, or in my case, I wasn't able to say, how much I would charge for the service because I feel like, oh, that's too much. That's too much, even though I knew the amount of time I will have to invest in order to find candidates for the family, nanny candidates for the family. I was like, that's too much. So every time I would have to say how much I was charging for the service, I will cringe. I will feel like inadequate just by saying a number. So, and of course, every time I would say it, my prospect client will notice that and they would be like, it's too much. We will let you know later, or things like that. But when you actually can explain to your prospect client the value that you are providing, then it's easier for them to say yes to your service. And
I love that. And I think that kind of answers a question that was here already. How can we how can we money block of our clients to pay us more? You know, is the case of just you know, making them realize the value you've providing. There is actually a
Correct.
question. There is actually a question here. Uh, Let me see if it pops up here. So the question here says, how can we overcome these money blocks? So I'm not, so do you have something that you can share that people can use as a to overcome money block? Obviously, it's an ongoing process, as you mentioned, right? And every time there will be a new kind of money block. So just reading this question, it would mean, you know, we just need to look at what the basic sort of money blocks that you come across that people generally is everywhere, and how can they overcome it as a quick fix or something. I'm
Yes,
sure there's never a quick fix
there's
for things
actually
anyway.
something, a good, very good starting point. The best way to start is by noticing what you're repeating to yourself, your self-talk. If you're constantly repeating to yourself, oh no, let's wait. No, oh no, I cannot charge more. No one is going to pay for my service. You know, I'm charging too much. I think, you know what, that other um, person that is providing the same service, well, she's charging $500 more, but she already has this and she has that and she has that. That's a big money block. You know, we all have different points, but if you're, of course, I'm not saying you're going to be on a field that you are totally not knowledgeable at all. But if you are already in a field, don't start comparing yourself with others and just give yourself permission to actually charge what you are worth. Just give yourself permission. There's always people ready to pay for your services. That's one thing. But an easy way, as I was saying, to start is notice what you are saying to yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself that's too much, you're asking for too much, just let's do the bare minimum right now. No, let's just keep what we have. Or the classic one, oh, you should be grateful for what you have already, which is true. The sooner you are grateful, the sooner you are going to start making more. But being grateful doesn't mean you have to settle with what you have. It's, I'm very grateful for what I have and I'm ready to get more. That's something that should be in our minds all the time. I'm super grateful for what I already have, but I'm even more grateful for the abundance that it's already on its way. So
I love that.
Yes. I mean, they're not against each other. Being grateful for what you have, it's a good thing, and it's something we all need to have. But also, we need to be ready for more. So notice what you are repeating to yourself. If you're constantly saying, no, it's not possible, or if you see someone else charging a lot more for the same service, but you are always making excuses why she or he can charge that, but you cannot, that's a big money block. So then just transform that. Say, okay, what I'm thinking about the difference between myself and that other service provider, what I'm thinking, is it real? And then reframe it from that. And think, for example, I cannot, instead of saying, I cannot charge more, you can even say, you know what? A part of me thinks I can't charge more for my services, but I'm deciding to believe that I'm ready for more. And start changing your patterns, your own beliefs, your own mindset, because we're ready for more. And repeat to yourself, I'm ready for more. There's actually, I always recommend specialists about tapping. For me, you can use different ways. tapping for me, it is very helpful. For some people, maybe it doesn't work. And there's, you can do Reiki, you can use kinesiology. There are many different ways to start working on your own, rewiring your brain.
Mm.
But for example, for tapping, and especially for entrepreneurs, there's Melanie Moore. She has very good videos, YouTube. They're free. You can go in there. And she has a really good video for earning 5K per month. She has a very good tapping video and she shows you exactly what you need to say, how to tap and everything. She has for 5K, for 10K, and one that is super special, wonderful for 50K per month. She is amazing, and I highly recommend her videos for that. And it's a way to get started, but affirmations work really well as well for most of the people. Some people will need to repeat the affirmations looking at the mirror and looking at themselves, but some others prefer to do it while they're doing some movement as well. And that works really well. But just for started, notice what you are repeating to yourself. And when you notice a negative, self-talk, transform that into a positive one. Transform that into a positive one. And I know that many times we find some resistance, like when we say, okay, there are some affirmations that say, I'm wealthy and I'm deserving. And sometimes a lot of people say, well, you know what? I'm wealthy and I'm deserving. No, I really don't think so. And you start doubting. If that's your case, don't repeat that. Transform that and say, okay, I am I am choosing to believe that I'm on my way to be wealthy and deserving. And that way, you start, it feels more aligned. When you are starting, you feel like, okay, I can manage this. And little by little, you are going to start rewiring your brain and see different things. But that's for started, just to start paying attention to what's coming to your mind. That's very important. That's
That
very, very important.
that is such an amazing share there, Leonor. Thank you very much for such an amazing share there. What was the name of that YouTuber that you mentioned to check out the videos of the 10K and more?
Melanie Moore.
Melanie Moore?
Mhm.
Melanie
It's,
Moore. I will try. Let me make a
yes.
note of that as well, because I will definitely need to check that.
And then she's really good. And then there's, of course, the king of tapping, which is Jeff. It's called on YouTube. You'll find him. It's Tap with Jeff.
Tap
He's
with Jeff.
wonderful.
Okay, amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
when you were just mentioning that all these ways of rewiring the brain and reframing your vocabulary, because I'm a big believer in reframing your vocabulary, because what words we use is what our brain then tries to work with, right? So
Correct.
if as you said, if you're trying to say, oh, I will get this, I will get that, I will get 10K client, I will get that client. And then it's you're feeling that it's not right. We need to change that vocabulary, because obviously that's not resonating with your body and your brain. There's nothing wrong with those words. It's just not for your energy, because your brain or your mindset is not ready for those words yet. So that means you need to, it's a bit, I always look at it as learning to ride a bicycle, right? You never get onto the bicycle with 2 wheels. You always have 4 wheels. Some people end up with 3 wheels before going on to 2. You remove one, so you're feeling a little bit brave, but you're not going to take the turn on the other side because there's no wheel there. And then sooner or later you have 2 wheels. You still have a
And
limited
you're
health.
ready to go.
Yeah,
Correct.
and you are going, right? So, and that's what we have to do with our mindset, right? We have to try different things and see which one actually works for us, because we are all
Correct.
individuals, we are all different. I mean, for myself, it was I definitely had those blocks. But what I did have since very young age, I actually never worried about money in terms of um, why I don't have it, right? I
Yes.
never worried about that, oh, why I don't have it. The only reason I never worried about was that, it will just come and go. Because when I started doing my first jobs, you start doing these little jobs when you start earning money. I never like celebrated it. Oh, I got money, I'm gonna go and buy this, I'm gonna do this and do that. So for me, it was like, yeah, I have money, I bought the things that I loved at the beginning, as everybody does, you start doing that. But what I did start doing was I started giving it away. Now,
Correct.
so give it to charity, give it to friends and family. I start noticing within the friends and family who needed the money. I'm now saying, don't go and look out for who is, they're not going to make it obvious. You're out and about and somebody says, oh, I left my wallet at home, you pay for it, right?
Yes.
I'll gladly pay for it, because I have that mindset already. Okay, that means the money in my pocket was for this person already. I'll use a
Yes.
prime example. I'll give you here an example. This is so lovely that anybody I tell, they're amazed at what I just did, and I'm like, yeah, I just never thought of this, in that way. And because I've been doing this for a very young age, that money that I get is not mine, it's for others already. I'm just a conduit that the energy of the money comes through to me, just waiting for others to collect from me. So
Mhm.
we went to Dubai this year, in the very first time in February, and so my sister gave me a SIM card that I can use over there on the phone, because she's been there previously. So they give, when you go into the airport, they give you a SIM card which visitors can use, and it's valid for until you visit. As soon as you leave the country, it just deactivates, because somehow the company knows that you've left the country. So my sister didn't know that part, that it's deactivated. She thought it's still active. If I go back, it will work. Which I thought, okay, yeah, maybe the case. I went back, I took the SIM card, I put it in my phone. I'm like, okay, it needs to top up. I went into, because she's giving me the details of what the detail are for this top up. Went into the shop, topped it up, and I'm like, it's not working. Why is it not working? Went into the shop. The shop says, well, this SIM's deactivated, and you need to use your new one. So I was given a new one already as well. So I topped up in British pounds, £100. I've topped up £100, thinking I'm there for 2 weeks. That will last me for 2 weeks. If not, I will top up more. But I want to just use the data, right? Internet, Instagram, and all that stuff, right? I'm going to take pictures. So I want that data. So I topped up 100 British pounds, thinking, yeah, let's just see what happens here. It's going to be. But when I was told, oh, you need to top up your new SIM that was given, and this SIM has been allocated to somebody else. This number is not yours at the moment. This number is somebody else's. Then I was like, oh, okay. So that person, whoever's here in the country now, visiting as well, like me, got a bonus. Like, he's got, yeah, and there was a friend of mine, he was having problems with his SIM that wasn't upgraded, but he was back and forth on the phone. And I was like, listen, I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm not going to chase that £100 that I've just lost, because that wasn't meant to be for me. I was supposed to support that person who is here also to enjoy themselves, and they're going to enjoy the phone on me, right? And I'm going to do this. I'm going to continue. I said, oh, here's another 100. Just make sure this SIM works. I'm here for 2 weeks. I want to start enjoying it from today. And
Yeah.
and after that, I was fine. My friend,
Yes.
until the 2 weeks we were there, had problems, because he never let go of
Correct.
that money block that he had, right? Oh, I spent this money. It's not topping up. It's not topping up. Why? I was like, just give another. You only did half anyway, so just give another 50 and get a new SIM and just sort it out, and let's go, right? Let's do it.
Yes. Yes.
And he had problems. I don't know if he's sorted it out or not, but he had problems because of that. So how I see things is also, it's a case of, don't hold on to the money that you have as well. So the more you give, the more it comes back. It's You let them, I don't know who said this, it's like let them go out to play with their friends. And then when they come back to you, they come back with their friends. They bring back their friends to you. It's like, hey, look, I've made some new friends, right?
And that's correct. And that's correct. You know, the money and the energy of money, the money likes to circulate. It is very important that we understand that, you know, money loves speed and money loves to be circulating around. However, I am not saying that everything that you make needs to go out. That's not the case. But for example, in just the story that you share with us right now, it is important to know what's at that particular moment. What was more important, to enjoy your trip or to spend endless time trying to get back 100 pounds? What is more important at that time? And that way you can make your decision. But yes, money like to circulate, and it is correct. You need to give in order to receive as well. And that's actually in one of the exercises that I share with, you know, with the people that is around me. I always tell them, when you're lacking, give something. Give something, and you're going to see how immediately you are going to start receiving, because you just open the door for that. You give something, and the universe, the way you want to call it, it just immediately gives something to you in return. It is amazing how it works. But yeah, the blogs that we have had, we've been, you know, basically programming our mind with that sayings that our family says, our teachers, the people that was around us, keep repeating again and again without even us noticing, but we've been saving them in our subconscious mind. And what happens is that we are trying to make them real. We believe them. So that's why when someone says, oh, I cannot do this or I cannot do that, when you already set your mind that you cannot do it, you are not going to be able to do it. You need to set your mind on, I'm going to do it. That's very important. And it's the same with money. If you have a money goal, that's something I always tell them. I know most people get scared setting the money goals. And, you know, it had been proving that once you write down your money goals, you are 42% more, you know, more likely to actually reach your goals just because you wrote them down. So set your money goals. Start saying, okay, this week I want to make this much in my business, or this month I want to make this much in my business. And that really helps you, because then your brain immediately goes into searching mode. Okay, how can I make this? How can I make this happen? How can I make this happen? And it's just as you know, as with everything, when there's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. So set your money goals, because that's going to help you to start reaching them, and again and again and again. And don't be afraid if you don't reach your money goal the first time. Just keep trying. Keep trying. That's a really good thing to do. Another really good thing to do is start tracking all the money that's coming in. Track all the money that is coming in. Not for you know, tax purposes or anything like that. Just so you can start noticing the abundance that it's coming. Just see, even if you go, for example, if you go for dinner and your friend pays for your dinner, track that money. It's, you know, it's value that it's coming into your life again. So keep tracking, and you're going to suddenly keep saying, whoa, it's actually coming in. I'm calling this money to come back to me, and just track. You know, you sell $5. Keep tracking. Not what you sell and didn't get paid for yet, but just the money that is actually hitting either your hand or your bank account. Start tracking that. That is going to elevate your mindset in no time.
I would 100% agree with this. I just wanted to hear somebody just said, that my voice was echoing. Yes, I'm aware of that. Apologies for the echoes. It's just that connection we have today, unfortunately, that my voice is echoing when I am talking for some reason. There's no connective device, but it's just happening. So yeah, apologies for the sound quality. But yeah, 100%, in terms of the energy that we have. And I love that you mentioned earlier that, change the language in terms of, and that's why I go, but, vocabulary. Don't say to yourself, I cannot do this, I cannot get this. Because when you are saying this, you are also, your body tightens and it closes, right?
Correct.
And when you do that, your brain, your mind automatically notices that, and it goes, right, this is not a good feeling, so you're definitely not going to do this, right? Nope.
Correct.
And next time, even if you want to do it, you're not going to do it because your mind is already ready. It's not going to happen, right? Because it's designed to protect, so it's protecting us. Okay,
Exactly.
so it's doing that. But when you are saying, I would love to do this, I want to know what it is, how do I get this? So, and it's your body's opening up, right? So it's going forward, and and your brain's like, oh, he's happy. Ooh, I love
Correct.
this.
Yes. Yes.
What is this? So it's gonna
You
do
need
that
to
already.
set your mind on what you want to reach. And especially, with money, when you say, oh no, I will never be making
Mm,
10K a month. That is just too much. I don't think I will ever reach that goal. You will not be able to reach it. But once you say, oh, I'm on my way to reach that 10K months, or, to make that a reality every month, then you start looking for ways to reach that goal. It is very important to do that. And another very important thing is, first, watch what you're saying to yourself, but then also watch or pay attention to what's coming into your mind. You need to be a really good guardian of what's going into your mind.
mm,
Sometimes we have even family members or friends that we are so happy that I have this new idea and I'm going to do this in my business, and then never fails that family member. I don't think that's going to work. I don't
yes.
think that it's going to be possible. And you start doubting yourself and doubting yourself. I'm not saying you are just going to throw yourself and do new things without even, making sure that it's a practical thing, that it's going to work. But a lot of times, especially for entrepreneurs, you tell your family and say, why don't you better find a real job,
Mm,
So, one that pays you monthly, and you're like, yeah, that's not what I want. So just be protective of that. And some people, they are not there to support your business dream. They are there for
mm,
different things, for different reasons. But try to find, a group of people that share, a similar a similar desire to build a business, so you can also keep building that business. Because if you gather with people that they're all about negative, and this is not going to work, and this is not there's no way this will make it, you're going to just go into that mode as well. You need to find people that it's looking for ideas. It's
mm.
that's why there are so many masterminds, because that really helps you to keep growing and improving, which is very important.
I actually love this, and you touched upon this now already. Is and when you said that, I had a picture of a very simple thing that I thought of. Like when you said to go and hang out with the people who are also on the similar, looking for the similar ideas, or has similar goals. And I'm thinking, yeah, we do this for all the other things, right? Let's say when we were teenagers, if you love skateboarding, you hung out with everybody who did skateboarding. Why? Because you wanted to learn the tricks and you wanted to be the cool person, right? And
Correct.
at one point you were the cool person because you knew the tricks, you knew everybody who did that. You were into your music, so you hung out with all the people that like same music, or you know, or if you're a musician, you hang out with all the musicians. You do this throughout the life. But when it comes to business, being an entrepreneur, or anything which can be now successful to you, we don't do those things, right? And I love that you touched upon this. And the masterminds are there. You know, you have masterminds, you have these coaches, you have YouTube nowadays. So yeah, there's so many things. You just need to plug in, and also there now that the world's open up, there's so many events happening that you can just go and attend, right? And you
Correct.
speak to those people, and you'll hear that you're not the only one with the same story, right? There's like 10 other people
Exactly.
in the same room have same story.
Exactly.
And that
Yes.
is great that you've just touched upon that. Leonor, thank you very much. I wanted to ask you as well. So it's such an amazing story and so many aha points that you've just shared. And now people who wanted to get in touch with you, I know that you do one-to-one coaching and more as well. Let us know, how can they get in touch with you, and what do you have for them that they can get in touch with you for?
Yes, I would love to, if they have any questions and they send me a message, I would love to answer. I do have a very basic simplified planner for boosting your money blocks, and then I also have a course that it's 4 modules. It's money mindset bootcamp, and then of course I have one-on-one. But I highly recommend that you start looking for people like me, that we are we help other entrepreneurs with money mindset. See, or Instagram, see my Facebook, see what if there's something that you feel aligned with, and start looking at what I have there, what I share there. Because if you like that, then you're going to see that I have a lot of other ways that you can keep improving your mindset. But start right there. Start right there. And then you can make a decision on what's the best way for you to go.
No, this episode has been so inspirational and eye opener for few people that they've been messaging already whilst we were on our Instagram live. So I would love, I think people who are listening to this or watching this now, or when this becomes a podcast a few months later down the line, I would recommend everybody to connect with you and check out the bootcamp. If you are able to give so much aha moments in this 1 hour live, I imagine what you can get from your bootcamp. So are you able to explain a little bit what your bootcamp is like and why people should join it?
Yes. Well, the money boot camp, it's I'd recommend to do it in 4 weeks. You can access everything, all the materials right away. And I will recommend to do it in 4 weeks. Why? Because I give you specific action plans for each week on to start recognizing your money blocks, how you can work on them, how you can turn them around, and then how to put everything together to make a unique plan that suits your needs, and so you can start using again and again every time you hit a new block. So everything is in there. You have access immediately. Each module has a checklist, has an action plan, and it also comes with a video on explaining how we work, how to work on each phase, and then you can start improving your money mindset. It's so important. Sometimes we hear money mindset and we think it's something frivolous or not really important, but in reality, the way you do money is the way you do everything. And that's why
Agree.
it's so important to work in your money mindset.
I agree 100%, and thank you very much for such an amazing share and sharing your journey and giving people. You've already dropped some hints on people how to overcome some of the things that they can use already in this episode. And you're doing such amazing things for the current climate. People need this as well. The money mindset for what's happening around the world now. Everywhere, inflation is high and things are going like so. The money mindset also helps to cope and manage those challenges and obstacles that we are currently going through, right? So I definitely will suggest everybody to connect with you and follow up. You know, if you're connecting with Leonor after this episode, let her know where you found her. You know, you've watched Tuesday Talks, and I'm sure that Leonor will look after you and help you out.
I will be happy to do so. That's my passion. Everybody needs to have more money to make this world a better place. Yes.
and there's so much money out there to go around. So there's never a lack of it. There's abundance of it out there.
There's abundance of it.
Yeah, so it's all out there. We just need to know how to how to see it. And once you know how to see it, you can have it.
Correct.
Lena, thank you very much for your time and amazing shares. We should be wrapping this up now. What would you like to say to people who've been listening to us since beginning, or listening to this as a podcast, but later as well, as a closing? What would you like to say?
Thanks. Well, I just want for everyone to know that we have choices, and you can choose to live in a scarcity mindset, or you can choose to live in an abundant mindset. And that is going to make a whole difference in your life. You get to decide. You have choices, and you choose the way you want to live. And that's why it's so important that you make that conscious decision on, I'm going to live on a wealth mindset.
That is so amazing. Thank you very much, Leonor. Everybody who's been listening to this episode or watching it now live on Instagram, if you had a aha moment or a spark which created an idea in your mind, so if you had that spark moment, it's our duty now to share this episode with whoever came into your mind or you are thinking of, because it's our duty now to share that spark with others, not to keep it within us, because we don't know who's woken up or gone to bed thinking of a better day. And if you had the spark moment, that will create the spark in them as well. And a spark is all what we need to get our engines rolling. And that's it. You know, they might have a light bulb moment, and what happens with light bulb is light everywhere, right? So they can now see things, and they will get going. So please share this episode with whomever you are thinking of, everybody. And we will see you next Tuesday again with another amazing guest. Leonor, thank you very much for an amazing day today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to responding any questions that our audience may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.